Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Behind the Mix. This is the show where we go into a little further depth about the compositions here on my channel. For the first episode, we will of course be looking at my epic metal cover of Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. My personal favourite part of this piece is the orchestration, so stick around to the end where we'll be looking into that. Okay, so to start, we have the acoustic guitars that bring the song in. Let's have a listen. So very simple premise, I just have a mic'd up acoustic, one playing the chords, one playing that lead. The acoustic continues to play throughout pretty much the whole song. It's just much more subtle after everything comes in. So, drums, let's have a look. Quite a big, wet, roomy sound. I just felt that necessary for the epic feel. Big open hits. Huge sustain on those toms there. So if you saw the video of the cover, you saw me performing the instruments there. You'll see that I was on the electronic drum kit, so clearly all of the sounds have come from samples. I've then mixed the samples to get the general kind of sound that I was going for. So let's bring in the bass. It's a DI bass, lots of low end. I tend to go for quite a scooped bass sound on metal, or at least these really kind of big epic compositions, just as that allows more room in the mid-range for things like the orchestra, for big loud guitars, etc. So let's bring in those guitars. Overall, I've used 3 main guitar sounds in the rhythm. So far in the song, for the first half, when the guitars first come in, we have the leads, obviously. We just have one of each guitar on one side. So hard pan left and right. However, what we have in this section that we got to with the bass, at this point the guitars are quad tracked. So that means 2 of each on each side. With this really heavy section in the middle of the second verse, I switched out one of the guitars for a different tone. Funnily enough, I actually used a distorted bass tone to get that really heavy low end crunch. Have a listen. And that point at the chorus, that's where it goes back to the full guitar tone, quad tracked, huge wall of sound. You hear the guitars are very loud in the mix, just really driving everything. So let's have a look at these lead guitars. One comes in solo very early. Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen to it soloed. So you'll probably hear I'm sending that to a delay, and then I'm sending that delay into a master reverb. So first chorus finishes and lead guitars bring us into the second verse. This time, one left, one right, harmonies. Let's have a closer listen to those. We also have this lead guitar bit here. So this happens twice in that final chorus. On the third and final time, we have this sweep-picking lead guitar part, which is also this dual harmony. Third guitar just hitting that top note at the end, that screech. Let's have a listen here. I've got some dive bombs, Floyd Rose on my 7-string guitar. Just have a listen to what that sounds like. Effectively some guitar sound design just to make it a little bit more exciting. So listen to that in context. Okay, now we're going to have a little look at the vocals. Vocals is an interesting thing, and I'm always trying out different approaches, especially when recording my own voice. One thing that I really like to do is vocal layering. Now, I'm really big on vocal layering. Always like to get experimental with it, and I have on this song as well. So I'd love to take you over what I've done here. At the beginning of the song, it's all very close and intimate because there's just an acoustic guitar and the vocals. So I couldn't have a big layered choir-like sound because it wouldn't have sounded right. So at the very start, I just have one lead vocal and then a double just subtly layered beneath it. So I'll play this to you now and you'll hear that. You'll hear then that on the second section, the double comes up and you can hear that it's 2 voices more, when it's soloed at least. Then when the whole thing drops, you have 4 voices. So throughout the majority of the song, there's 4 instances of my lead vocal going at any one time. They're all very tightly layered. I recorded them that way, and I edited and mixed them to be as tight as possible. And you'll hear it just makes this really rich, full sound. So from the top of the song.
When a humble bard graced a ride along with Geralt of Rivia, along came this song.
Now the double comes in more.
From when the white wolf fought a silver-tongued devil, his army of elves at his hooves did they revel.
Now it all drops in and you hear 4 voices.
They came after me with masterful deceit, broke down my lute and they kicked in my teeth, while the devil's horns minced our tender meat, and so cried the witcher,
2 more.
He can't be bleed.
So you have an extra 2 voices there doing the harmony, which means there's 6 vocal layers at that particular point. You hear also that I've obviously got this delay on the vocals. It's a dual echo. I'm a really big fan of echo on vocals. So you can hear what's going on here, but I'll highlight it a little more.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of...
You hear it bouncing left and right. It's just something I enjoy. Again, the delay's going into a reverb. So now let's have a look at my favorite part, which is the orchestra. The piece comes in with just acoustic guitars and the voice, and then So you hear there's a string section, and that's really just bringing the harmony out. You hear, of course, that the guitar ostinato, played on the acoustic guitar, is paralleled by, at first, a harp, and the harp remains and is also joined by a glockenspiel. You hear that more metallic sound, bell-like almost. You've got the timpani just accenting beats. It just, for me, adds to that real epic orchestra sound. But nothing too over the top here. You know, I wanted to keep it quite subtle. There's already a lot of instrumentation going on. My favourite part in particular is this inversion where it goes up just here. Just to bring it in, I love that transition. Let's have a listen to the second verse. It's just a build on the same thing. Spiccato strings. And here's that heavy bit of the second verse. Brass comes in. You hear the tubular bell now. And the choir. Here's the chorus. I think the chorus is at its best when the choir comes in and it's in its biggest, most full arrangement at the end. You hear the woodwind melody intertwining with the brass. It's a really big, full sound. Have a listen. In full context, it sounds something like this. Thank you all so very much for watching this. I really hope you enjoyed it. Personally, I love to be able to show off my compositions in this way. It really makes me feel like I get more out of all of this work I put into the detail. If there's anything in particular that would interest you, if you have any questions about this piece, or if there's things you'd like me to include in future videos, then please let me know in the comments below. My goal is to build a community here, so I would love for the content to be as interesting and engaging to you as possible. Also, hit the thumbs up. It really helps a lot. This is a very new channel and I'm really trying to push to get it out there. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. It will really mean the world to me at this stage. Thank you.